Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we are doing the what's next on the undefeated WBC Featherweight Champion of the world, Ray Vargas. As he just fought moving up to 130 and came up short, losing a convincing decision to O'Shaquie Foster on Saturday, February 11th on Showtime. Now, he came up short in the fight, losing, but he is still the current featherweight champ at 126. And, the big question is what's next for him. Now, I'm just going to go out there. I'm not even going to give potential opponents at 130 pounds because I don't believe he's going to stay at 130. I think he tested the waters. He came up short. He lost convincingly. So why bother staying at 130 unless you are absolutely convinced that you can compete at this weight? And especially when you have a title at another weight class like 126, and there's fights to be made there. There really is. So, we're gonna, look at the potential options right out the gate. Though, Brandon Figueroa and Mark Magsayo are competing in an interim title fight on March 4th. So just a couple weeks away. They're going to compete with the winner to be in line for Vargas. Now, would Vargas get an exception, before having to make that mandatory because he would have to move back down and weight? I think that's possible, but I think there's a good chance that the WBC is going to order Vargas to fight the winner. So, we'll see, but we're going to run through the top 10 at featherweight and see what's possible. Now, Emmanuel Navarrete no longer there. He became champ at 130, so that's not an option for Vargas, even though it'd be a great fight, not an option. Mark Magsayo. Well, if Magsayo beats Brandon Figueroa, I think a rematch with Vargas, Vargas would probably go for that. That would probably make a ton of sense, and I think Vargas would be down for that, a rematch. I think Magsayo is an underdog. I don't think he's going to win against Figueroa, but I do think he's got a solid, chance, a puncher's chance to pull off the victory and the upset. And yeah, he potentially could end up fighting Vargas in a rematch. Then you got Gary Russell Jr. Well, Gary Russell has made the announcement that he's saying bye-bye to 126 pounds finally, and he is going to be moving up to 130 at some point. But given the fact that Vargas only fights once a year, and also given the fact that, that Russell only fights once a year, and given the fact that Vargas just got outboxed, against a boxer in O'Shaquie Foster, would Vargas really want to test the waters against Gary Russell? I'm sure Gary Russell will offer him a fight, but I really don't see the point in Vargas fighting Russell next, so I doubt that fight happens. Then there's Brandon Figueroa. I think this is the most likely fight for Ray Vargas next, depending on if the WBC would make him fight, his mandatory next. And, because Figueroa is fighting Magsayo, as I said, and the winner of that will be in line to fight for the title against Vargas, as long as Vargas comes back down. Now, I think Vargas is going to come back down to 126, but the big question is, does he want to jump back into a big fight in his next one, or would he potentially ask the WBC for an exception to fight, to fight somebody else first, just to kind of get his feet wet again at 126 before fighting Figueroa. I don't know if the WBC would honor that. I personally think, hey, you should come back down and he should fight his mandatory. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is most likely the guy he's going to fight is Figueroa. But we'll talk about that at the end of the video. Other options in the top 10, you got Mauricio Lara, who is the new WBA champion. He's tied up. He's also with DAZN, so that's not going to happen. You got Luis Lopez, the IBF champion. He's with Top Rank, ESPN, likely fighting Michael Conlan next, so not going to happen, not an option in my opinion. You got Lee Wood, the former champ. He fights for DAZN. He's coming off of a knockout loss. I'd love to see the fight, but Lee Wood is tied up with DAZN, and I don't see the promotions getting together for it. Number 9, Josh Warrington, another one. He's with DAZN. He's potentially going to fight Mauricio Lara next, or he'll just stay within his own promotion, most likely. And And then you got Michael Conlon, a top-ranked guy, likely fighting Luis Lopez for the IBF title next, so I don't see it. And then you got Isaac Dogbe, the former world champion, who's fighting for the vacant title against Robesai Ramirez next. So not a lot of big options in terms of the top 10 for Ray Vargas in his next fight, outside of the winner of Magsayo and Figueroa. I believe he's probably gonna fight that guy in the second half of the year, coming off the loss to Foster. So that's it. That's what I got. That's the what's next on the reigning and undefeated WBC featherweight champion Ray Vargas, following his defeat at 130 pounds to Oshaki Foster. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.